So a good challenge was made to me about yesterday's morning jolt, and welcome, by the way, to this morning Simple Truth from the Word of God. And it was about how Jesus is our example, the New Testament example, not Joseph from the Old Testament, and that is a good challenge. I think about what I said. In Luke 23:34, Jesus says on the cross, said on the cross, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And I said that that is not a foolproof method of dealing with offenses, and not always helpful for us to forgive people. Okay, so when I said that, I did not mean that this is not a valid way of approaching offenses. Okay, when we desire to forgive, this is a valid way of approaching offenses. What Jesus was doing here is that okay, so here is someone who has offended me. And then that they did, that they hurt me. Well, in this case, they physically hurt, and they were killing him, which is, is as bad as it gets. But he could not alter what they were doing, but he could cast behind it the best possible backdrop that could be done. So what they were doing could not be excused, but love would make their motives behind their actions less weighty than maybe what they even were. And that's what love does, okay? That's what love, this is why you find mothers excusing their kids even when their kids do horrendous things and they become terrible people, and their mothers are still saying, oh, he's a good kid, and they're not. But, she is, because of love, she is casting the best possible backdrop behind their actions. Now, this might make you look like a fool. Yeah, this might make you look like a fool, and maybe people will mock you and ridicule you, and they will like just wag their heads like that. That fool believes that. How is that possible? Because you're assuming the best about someone who simply doesn't deserve it. 1 Corinthians 13 says that love does that. But this is what love does, and love actually doesn't care so much about how others judge the love, how others despise that love. Love doesn't care. Love just does that. And Jesus loved us so much, and Jesus was doing something very beautiful, very powerful here, and that's important to understand. But I believe that we are not always capable of loving this much, okay? We are not always able to do this. Sometimes it's mighty hard to find in our hearts the positive assumption that Jesus here was doing, because we see that thing that they did, what she did, that situation, that was done with the wrong intent, and we cannot, we feel that it would be a lie to say that they didn't know what they were doing, okay? Maybe we cannot cast that backdrop behind them so well. And and this is what I was saying, that in those times, the realization of Romans 8:28 and what Joseph did in Genesis 50 verse 20 are actually closer to us, more attainable for us by faith. They are easier to grasp for us, because we are talking about the promises of God and the future that God has for us in hold, and that depends on the nature and character of God, and the character of God is unchanging. It is without, it is something we can trust, and we can more easily, those of us who live by faith, trust God's nature in that He will bring out good from this. Rather than that we look at a person and we are able to cast the best possible background and say, oh, I'm sure they didn't know what they did. And that's what I meant, of course. And I'm happy that challenge was brought to me, because I got to explain this. I hope it wasn't confusing. I hope it was helpful. And God bless your day today and tomorrow and every day with the Lord.